Hey, it's Heather K, and today is day 59. It's the end of February. Tomorrow's the first of the month, and it's also got a full moon. It's not only the first of the month. It's like a full moon. There was something else I was going to add. I can't remember what I was going to add. It's like a new beginning for me, I guess, is the point I was trying to make with that crazy introduction. I'm Heather K from Cupcakes Anonymous. This is the segment called Path to Success. On my journey video, I explained about how my veggie meals weren't working for me and how I recycled all my veggies into my free garden. And this one here I'm just rooting, and I'm recycling this glass jar so I can see the roots as they grow so that I'm not messing with it. And when I made my, sorry, I should have just left these out, but they're frozen. There's a freezer right here. I made myself some veggie cubes because when you try to eliminate oil from your cooking, not so you can have it, but you can have it lightly, you can actually have some flavor in your cooking with your veggie cubes, and I'll use 2 or 3 of them, and that just helps steams up the veggies and adds a little flavor. It makes it more interesting. And how I did it is when I was cutting up my veggies, of course I always save the root for my free garden, but I cut all the extra pieces that just are not, I don't know, the tops of them and stuff like that. Like, you know, when you have the tops of them, you cut them off and you just don't eat that part. So what I did is, like, the peelings and the ends of the carrots, I gather that all up. And if you don't have enough, you can freeze it. I think I even have a bag in my freezer where I keep storing all the pieces until I have enough, like celery, onions, carrots, I guess whatever you think. I don't really think I put any more than that in there. But I make my own veggie cubes, and I just prefer to make everything myself. As often as I can, as much as I can, for as long as I can. And that path, doing these really interesting things like go to the dollar store, get yourself a nice pot, go to the dollar store and get yourself some little snails. You know, I just enjoy watching stuff grow. And like I said, I had some tomatoes that were past their prime. I don't know if this is going to grow or rot, but I took this out because I want to show you how thick the tomato was. I just planted 3 of these tonight. I brought this terracotta pot in from outdoors. I washed it up. Didn't paint this one. So that's the path to success to me, is taking this journey, doing fun stuff with the veggies, growing them yourself, cooking them when they're fresh is the biggest thing I realized tonight, because I had some veggies that were getting old and I decided to cook them up, and I introduced some new stuff into it. It was delicious. That night when I had them, they were delicious the next day when I had them, and then I froze the rest because I wanted them to be fresh. That's where I made a mistake. Usually I don't procrastinate, and what happens is when you don't procrastinate, they get done right away. So I procrastinated in cooking my veggies, and by the time I got to freezing them, they were done. And you don't even know they were done, because this is the first time I waited this long, and I said, I need to use them up, and I did. But what good is it when they're done and they're past their prime and there's no flavor? You can't eat it. So sometimes it's the path is a learning path. Sometimes you learn the hard way, which is where I was, and I was struggling, and I had so much struggles. Like I said, I could have 1 million YouTube viewers and subscribers, and it's like, what are you watching me for? My pain? I now understand why other YouTubers sometimes just don't make a video. It's hard to get in front of the camera and admit some sort of defeat. But you know what? I don't wear it. I don't beat myself up. I'm happy that you're here, that you're watching my video, that I'm saying when you're on this path and it doesn't come naturally, it's a struggle. So I wish it came naturally. I wish I was somebody who was naturally slim and naturally knew how to take care of my body and my life, but I'm not. I'm on the journey that people who love food and want to find lifestyle with an abundance of nutritious food, and a food that is exciting and not boring, and makes me motivated to cook. So I'm thinking, okay, well, I'm just going to ease up on freezing the food because it's just not working for me. And I'm going to try to make more fresh foods more often. So it's, I think I can do this. So it's like, okay, what am I going to come up with? And one of the videos I came up with today is they had something called cloud bread. They made pizza with the cloud bread. They made a hamburger bun with the cloud bread. And what was the other thing they made? It was so simple. They made 3 things, and it was really fun. Pizza, hamburger. Well, I can't think of it now. Can you imagine? It'll come to me as soon as I turn it off. Maybe it was a sandwich. Oh, it was a sandwich. It was. It had lettuce, tomatoes. I think they had ham slices and avocado, and they had a sandwich. So they had. It made 5 of them. So 2, they used the top and the bottom. They didn't cut it in half. Top and bottom for the hamburger, top and bottom for the sandwich, and the one piece they made a pizza with. They did 3 things. They had pizza sauce, which I don't think they made themselves, but it's not hard to make your own pizza sauce. And they had cheese, but they just had little pieces of cheese all over the place. Not like the pieces of pizza we have where it's just covered with layer and order an extra cheese. They just had it put out throughout it so you actually saw the sauce. And then they put fresh basil, I think it's basil leaves, on it. And I don't have basil growing in my garden. And that was it. One little pizza, and it looked delicious. Now, what I found similar last night, I was watching the Great Depression videos. There's this lady on there. She died a number of years ago, but she shared all of her recipes with the Great Depression. And she made a pizza. And when her mother made bread, they would have bread. She would put aside some bread in the evening, and they would have pizza for supper. And they had anchovies, but she only had 3 or 4 anchovies, and she put them all out the pizza. And the cheese she had was just put out, and she cooked basil on it. The same thing. The only difference was the anchovy, and they had where it was cloud bread, and cloud bread is very basic ingredients of egg, cream of tartar, cream cheese, and I think that's it. There's not a whole lot. Oh, eggs, right? There's not a whole lot to go in there, but I'm experimenting with gluten-free bread. I'm experimenting with sugar-free bread. So I'm trying to find something that's healthy and that fills that need of bread without having just regular bread. And so the pizza that she had, she loved it. And I loved how she made the pizza the way her mother did. And so what I like about this journey I'm on is grandma's diet. They were thin. Like, they didn't suffer from obesity. To me, the obesity epidemic began with the introduction of chemicals in our food. That's why I gave up pop in 1999. And then when I think about genetically modified food, if there's genetically modified, you're not going to be able to grow it. And sometimes I don't know if I have grown these before, but I never made it to the point where I'm going to eat them. I have had success with chives. I found out that the garlic I have that you buy in the grocery store, even though they grow all these green tops to them, they die. You can't grow them. Same with onions. You can't grow them. They're genetically modified so that you can't reuse them like the way I'm doing it here. So I had a friend who gave me garlic, and I grew that in my garden, and I'm hoping I didn't kill it because I killed it last year. I didn't grow it the right time, and even this year I was a little late. So I'm educating myself on this stuff. So anyway, so I don't know if I'm just rambling on, but I'm just telling you how I'm trying to figure it out and make it exciting for me. So anyways, that's all I'm going to say about that. See you tomorrow. Be careful for the moon. Like, subscribe, all that stuff.